My project is titled Multisensory Learning Through the Senses, and the project really came from my kindergarten class. And I kept on thinking, why are they just not getting this? Why can they not see the letter, remember the letter? It just doesn't happen. You could even get to the end of the year and they still don't have it. So through research, I found that connecting different modalities of learning at the same time together, such as visual or tactile movement, creates more synapses and dendrites to grow inside of your brain, and your brain is growing. So my project, I was able to get various different activities that the kids could use. So if you come into my classroom, you're not going to see the kids working on paper all the time. Of course, yeah, they do have to write, but using the different activities, they're going to remember better and they're going to retain that information longer. So some of the things that I was able to get through this grant are tactile letters. They're made out of sandpaper so the students can trace it. It's kind of like if you take your finger, everybody do this, take your finger, and put it on your pant leg, and you can feel the different textures, or you can put it on your shirt, or you can put it on the chair. You can feel that texture. That texture is creating different parts of your brain to connect, different than just a pencil touching a paper. Other things that I have for the students that they can touch is a draw and write touch board. This one, it's like a gel board, but when they write on it, you can lift up the flap and then it erases it, and then they can do it again. Other things they can touch, this is very similar to the handwriting without tears, but they're magnetic. So the letters are magnetic and they stay together so they can create the letter formations correctly. Another thing that they can touch and feel as we're working on letters and letter sounds are different little tiny, kids would call them toys, but like for example, for the S sound, the student could hold the sun. And they could see the sun, they could feel the sun. Another one would be, let's see here, I got one for vowels. So if they're working on the long E sound, then they could hold up the E figure that they have, or there's a 3, so they can see the 3. It's just things that they can hold, things that they can feel. Another thing that they could feel with the project that I've got are wiki sticks, so they're able to build their letters and build their words. And we're not just focusing on letters, we're focusing on their sounds, we're focusing on manipulating different letters to make words, not just sight words, but words. And word recognition, not just sight words, but other words. Other things that they're able to see and put together are little Lego blocks that have the letters on it, and they're color coded. So consonants are blue and the vowels are red, so they can see if they put blue, red, blue, they're making a CVC word. They could read that word. They can tap out the letters, tap out the sounds, and then say the word. So all of these activities, whether it's writing on a little whiteboard with a dry erase marker, or putting together Legos, or taking different magnetic pieces, or taking beads that have letters on them. And also another thing that I got was a sound and hear phone. So whenever they're reading their letters, they're listening to this, it looks like a little piece of PVC pipe. They hold it up to their mouth and their ear, and then they can hear themselves saying those sounds. So we're connecting the visual by seeing it, the tactile and kinesthetic by moving and touching, and the listening through their earphones. And it is my hopes that through this grant and through all of the things that I was able to purchase with this grant, that students will learn their letters, the formations, their sounds. They will learn to manipulate their letters to make new words, sight words or nonsense words. And by making all of those connections by visual, tactile, and listening, then that will hopefully help them learn and retain their information longer. And I know some of you may be like, well, what are they going to do without all that paper? What are they going to do? Well, I'll show you. Just a second. I got to grab my phone for this. Students don't always have to write on a piece of paper for you to collect data. If you've not heard of the app called Seesaw, you should check it out. Seesaw app will allow you to see a student and their portfolio. So what we've been doing is we've been actually building a profile, and it's not just handwriting, writing on paper. These are things like they're building letters out of little pieces of wood. And then once we get started using our different activities we got from our grant, then I'll be able to take a picture or take a video. This student, she was practicing the letter D. So I took a video of her saying, this is the letter D. D says D. And it's on a video. And this app can be connected to their families back home. So if they're wondering, well, I don't see any papers coming home. I don't know what you're doing. What are you doing? Well, they can look on their app and they can see, oh, you worked on the letter D today. That's awesome. Can you tell me what that sound is? And then they can either say it or, how about let's watch this? Maybe you can remember. Let's watch it. But this will take a video. You can take pictures, and it's a portfolio that builds from the beginning of the year, and parents can see this all throughout the year. So it'll be a really good tool to see and to gather data from. And also I will be taking their beginning of the year assessment in their letters and their sounds and recognizing letters, and comparing that to the end of the year once I've included all of the multisensory learning to see how well they have gained in their learning.